Good morning, HCA, and welcome to ESBN. That's Eagle Sports Broadcasting Network. I've got an exciting show for you today. I'm joined here with Coach Mack, the athletic director at HCA, and we are going to talk about the play of the year. We've got 3 plays that you, the HCA Eagle Nation, are going to vote on, which is your favorite play of the year. And we're going to be interviewing the members of those teams here shortly. So, Coach Mack, how's it going? Talk to us a little bit about the play of the year.
Oh, it's going great. I'm really excited about this. We started touting this at the end of the Restaurant Royale as the next big student life activity. And this is our first year to have such a thing. Unprecedented times, unprecedented fun, as we've turned it into. And we've got 3 big plays that have happened throughout the year. I'm sure there would have been more, but no spring sports this year kind of limited it to just 3 plays. So we've got one from volleyball that we are terming She Wasn't Ready. We've got basketball for the win. And we've got a football clip that we're just redocumenting as the catch.
So we're going to be bringing in some of these student athletes to talk about that. Talk to us a little bit about those plays, just in general. As you've seen throughout the year, sports at HCA. Talk to us a little bit about this year's sports.
Well, we had a pretty good year. The volleyball team, of course, kept itself going. And one of our members, we'll be talking to Isabella Schmukal for her play of the year nominee. They had another good year. Unfortunately, came up short in the playoffs and did not make it back to the regional round. But again, another district title for volleyball. Football made a playoff appearance this year after a 2-year hiatus. After having 12 in a row at one point, we took a 2-year skip of the playoffs. This year the group worked really hard, made it back to the playoffs, and you'll see in the plays of the year, this play that we are going to use to catch is part of the magical football run in the playoffs. The playoff team was playing the number 3 team in the state, and made a very good showing. Matter of fact, there was just a couple of plays away from maybe upsetting the number 3 team in the state as us coming in as a 4th seed from our own district. So that was impressive. The basketball team, the boys, again, a 2-year layoff from the playoffs, battled their way in as a 4 seed from our district and went to a bi-district game and knocked off a number 3 seed team from Waco in Live Oak Classical on a very exciting play that I believe is a play of the year nominee. And then everything got cut short. The boys actually, we don't talk about the boys programs much around here as much as we do the girls volleyball program. However, the boys had something to do this year that they could have made happen that has never happened in the school's 25-year sports history, and that is the boys qualifying for the playoffs in all 3 of the team sports in football, basketball, and baseball. And the boys had a very good opportunity in baseball this year to make another playoff run. And that would have made them a clean sweep, something that's never been done in school history. But COVID-19 arrived and decided that they wanted to make us re-earn that opportunity. So next year, we're looking forward to another opportunity to try and get that done for the school. And I forgot to mention, again, for the 4th year in a row, we have the state champion mascot, Rally the Eagle. This year, the suit occupied by Ryder Ashlock won a 4th consecutive mascot state title at the TAPS competition.
That's incredible.
Sorry about that.
That's awesome. We've got quite a tradition of excellence here at HCA. So we're going to bring in here on our first guest. We've got Mason Thomas and Carson Biggerstaff on the catch. This should be exciting. I'm going to bring them in here, and we're going to let them talk a little bit about that play. Mason and Carson, it's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us on the show. You're here because of the catch. So talk to us a little bit about that play, who you were playing, where you guys were in the game, and all about the details of the catch.
All right. So it started off with, we call it RPO, where we've got 2 receivers out with like a tight formation in the middle where we can run or pass. I got the call from Carson to have a little fade to the end zone. I don't know how really to explain it, but Carson trusted me, threw it up, and I had one hand on the defender, one hand had the ball, and the ball wasn't going to get dropped.
I'll get you guys going. Okay, so here's the thing. So Mason's right. He's used a little football terminology that everybody hears on Sundays and Saturdays called RPO, which is run pass option. What that means is we basically, as the coaching staff, are giving the team, the quarterback, the choice of what he wants to do. So we just call a formation and send them to the line of scrimmage. We call it choice. So Carson being our quarterback and Mason being our receiver, they have all the choices. And in this particular play, I believe we had called a timeout, and Coach Kane gave Carson some advice on what did he tell you, Carson?
Yeah, so I think we were down like 2 touchdowns to 0, and we kind of like needed like a spark to get us going. And Coach Kane just kind of told me, he's like, hey, like you need to get the team going. Just throw one, like just send Mason deep and throw him one, and if it's good, he'll catch it and he'll score a touchdown. I was like, all right. So I went up there, I lined up, and was it the deep
Outside,
route? Yeah. So went up there, gave Mason the deep route, and I just dropped back and threw it up, and he somehow pulled it off. So
yes, Carson does have a problem with wanting to be perfect, so he tries to throw the ball to the receiver instead of to an open area and letting the receiver go get it. And Coach Kane finally got through to him in a playoff game. It was big. Carson's right. We were down a couple of touchdowns, but we were playing well. We just couldn't punch the ball in, and it was crucial. If we'd have gone down 3 touchdowns, boys, what do you think would have happened in the game?
You probably would have gotten 45.
Probably gotten 45 in a playoff game that we had worked so hard to get to after 2 years, and getting people to be quiet about what our program actually is. It was very impressive. Carson just laid that ball out there, and Mason may have pushed off. We don't know.
Maybe.
Mason held the defender off and made the play. You guys are all going to see it, and you'll get your chance to vote on it. It was a big play in that playoff game that kept us alive and ended up with us losing. What did we lose by? 12 or 13 points?
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. I think.
Win all 4 quarters. And the 6-man Taps world was a buzz on how did Heritage Christian stay with this powerful Giddings State team that ended up losing in overtime in the state semifinal. Who knows? Could have been us.
Mason and Carson, how did it feel, the catch? What was going through your mind when that happened?
It was ecstatic.
Yeah,
that's the only way to say it.
I was surprised, I'm not going to lie, because the reason he had to one-hand catch it is because I guess I threw it a little too far. Right when I kind of threw it, I was like, oh, man, I think I overthrew him. And then when I saw Mason catch it, the film, I think the play cuts it off short, but Mason caught it, and then, like, I'm just sprinting towards the end zone just to jump and tackle him and, like, hug him. So I was pretty excited because I knew that would give our team some excitement and help us, like, play better the rest of the game. So
yeah, I think as soon as it ended, I got up, tossed the ball to the ref, and started running down the sideline screaming.
So you guys are familiar with the other 2 plays, I think, one from volleyball and one from basketball. Why do you think the HCA Eagle Nation should vote for your play as the play of the year?
The basketball shot, that's just any 3-pointer, right?
That's just routine play.
Isabella,
you tell Nuru I said that.
Yeah.
It's routine.
Isabella smacking the girl in the face. That girl was just bad at volleyball. Isabella's just too good.
Okay, there you go. There you have it from Carson and Mason. Anything else, Coach Mack?
No, I think these boys did a really good job with describing what actually happened and the turnover in how we as a staff have allowed the boys to make the plays on the field. And that's just a testament to their abilities and their knowledge of the sport to be able to pull this play off and keep us alive in our first playoff game in 2 years. It was very exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the show. We appreciate it. And we'll hope to see you guys soon. All right, we have our second clip here of Play of the Year. This is entitled For the Win. It's boys basketball. Joining us today, we've got Nuru Witherspoon and Cody McCaffity, the 2 key contributors to this play for the buzzer beater first round of the playoffs win. Let's bring them in here right now. Nuru and Cody, thanks for joining us on the show. It's good to see y'all. You're here to talk about the play For the Win. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Mack to talk a little bit about the play.
You know, I'm partial to all 3 of these plays. for the win was big for us. We, again, had not been in the playoffs in a few years. Basketball playoffs at Heritage are kind of rare. We've only been in the playoffs 8 times in 25 years with 4 playoff wins. We had come in 4th in our district, and we were headed down to take on a higher seed at their place in Waco. We're a high-scoring team. They're a low-scoring team, and we ran the game as much as we wanted to, and they decided to run with us. We were down late, as many as 9 points at one time, but we found ourselves down by, what was it, boys? 6 or 8 points with about 30 seconds to go, and we drained 2 threes there toward the final 30 seconds to go ahead, and Live Oak fought back with a layup to tie it. To go up. They went up 2. We tied it. They went up 2. And that's the video you're going to see is what happened then with 6 seconds remaining. A timeout was called, and then we're going to let the boys describe to you what happened from that timeout to the end in the video that you just saw that we're calling for the win.
So talk to us, Cody and Nuru, about the play.
All right. I'll start off. So in the huddle, the play was kind of sort of for Carson to pass it into me, and I was going to pass it back to him. He's going to get the last shot and, make it for sure because I had confidence in Carson for sure. And I wasn't feeling nervous at all. I don't think anyone was nervous. We were confident in the play. We knew that we were going to make it. We were really confident because in practice every day, Coach Max always saying, shoot behind the line, shoot way back behind the line. So that was a comfortable shot for all of us. Anybody on the team could have took the shot.
Cody, what about you? What was going through your mind with the play?
Yeah, I was expecting to set the screen for Carson, and I guess Carson had to pass the ball back to Nuru. He felt comfortable passing it back to Nuru. Like Nuru said, anybody could take the shot. And just kind of switched over to screen for Nuru. And that guy, he had no idea I was standing right there. He just ran into me.
He just ran into you. Cody didn't foul the player. We found out after the game that the Live Oak coach, we expected, I think Naru's correct, we expected them to be kind of full court man. Did we not, Nuru?
Yeah, that's what we expected them to do.
We expected them to be full court man because they had done that to us earlier in the game. And we usually have Cody throw the ball in. So this time we decided it would be better to let Carson throw the ball into Nuru to throw him off a little bit and use Cody as a screen to free Carson up. Live Oak jumped into a 3/4 court trap, which we are familiar with. Who else in our district runs a 3/4 trap, boys?
Yavna,
the state champs. So we are prepared for that type of activity. Carson and Nuru made the switch, and that young man that Cody screened off in the play that you can see, Cody sets a back screen. That young man was supposed to be trapping with a partner who's sitting back in his own, a 3-point shot. The trap never came because Cody screened the man without fouling. That's the key here. That young man was on a full sprint, as you can see in the video. Cody doesn't even foul him, and we're back to Nuru on his confidence in that shot and what was going through his head. And subsequent, what happened?
So Carson, the play was going smooth. The play, like we drew it up in the huddle. Carson passed it to me, and I passed it back to Carson, and then he passed it back to me. I was not expecting that. So I hesitated a little bit. So then I was like, oh, okay, I know there's not a lot of time left. So I know that I'm going to have to drive down and get a quick shot. So then I drove, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw Cody like just bang into the guy, and I was like, wow. So then I put up the shot, and to me, honestly, it looked like it was a little bit left, and then I banked it in.
So what was your reaction once you realized that you made the shot?
So my reaction, at first I was like jumping up, and then I was like, wait, is there any time left? Because I didn't want to celebrate too early because I always see that going wrong. Then I looked around, and then I turn around and I see Hudgy and everybody running at me. So then I start to run, and then the bench came, and it was really good. It was a really nice moment.
Cody, as a senior, what does that play mean to you and that win as kind of your a really big moment for your senior year?
It meant a lot. I loved playing with this team, and I was just shook, honestly. I mean, it's not every day that happens, that's something you see in the movies. And for that to happen to us, for us to go on to the next round, senior year, it was great. I was still shook like 2 weeks afterwards. it was just amazing. I couldn't believe it.
It was a great feeling all the way around, just to see the boys. We won the game 81-80, which is right in our style of play. We like to play an up-tempo game. Nuru mentioned it. It's great to hear. We practice those things. We don't practice game-winning shots, but we practice shots from long distance, and we have a green light. Anybody on the team has a green light to take those shots, to see it come to fruition. And the other thing that's noticed on the film, if you're watching, is not just Nuru knocking in this shot, is the efforts of some of the other boys that are happening. They stayed where they were supposed to. Cody sets a screen and immediately rolls. If you notice at the very end of the film, Cody's at the front of the rim ready to rebound a missed shot. So we even have a shot to tie the game because Nuru took the shot with about a second and a half, 2 seconds to go. We still had a chance to rebound and put it in and go to overtime if need be. The reaction was great. The stands emptied. It was a real tight gym. I don't know if anybody noticed. It's really tight in there. It was really loud. There was lots of sportsmanship shown. The opposing team let us celebrate on their own court. And then the big thing is we went to dinner afterwards as a team, and we started getting phone calls from basketball alums congratulating the boys and the coaches on getting this big win. We're talking the 5th playoff victory in school history. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. And then it allowed us to go to Midland and have a fun trip. We played well there too. It just didn't work out for us. But really to see the boys execute, they had been working on this all year on execution and being ready for the right time. And as the year went on, it was a fight for us to get in the playoffs. We had to pull off a couple of, I wouldn't call them miracles, but we had to pull off some really big wins to get there. And these two boys, young men, were a big, big part of what we did. Naru's confidence coming down, as he talked about the year. Cody set massive screens all year. He was our leading rebounder. I don't know if you guys know, but Cody's a 5'9" post. It's not like he's a 6'3" kid, right? Seeing Naru's dad celebrating with us, Cody's mom, everybody that was there was jumping up and down and bouncing. It was amazing.
So Cody and Nuru, what would you say? Why should people vote for your play as the play of the year?
Well, our play, I think that, if you think of the circumstances of the shot, like if we lose that, if I miss that shot, we go home, we go home really sad, we lost, but I made the shot to go to the second round of the playoffs. And I think that it's the circumstances of the shot.
I'd say not only was it kind of like mid-game for maybe some of the other videos, but for us, it was the end of the game. We were dog-tired, working our butt off the whole time, and we still executed, came together as a team. Everyone did their job, and Nuru happened to make the shot.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys soon. Okay, well, that was Nuru and Cody with For the Win, and now we're going to turn to a senior, Bella Schmukal, for the volleyball team, and the play of the year we're titling She Wasn't Ready. We'll hear a little bit more about that in a second, but let's bring in Bella Schmukal.
Hello.
Hey Bella.
BC.
Hi.
Well, you made the show.
I know. I'm excited.
Excited? Yeah.
Yes.
We've heard from football. We've heard from basketball. And now we got the volleyball representative, right?
Yes, for sure.
You know what we're calling your play, right?
What?
She Wasn't Ready.
Of course. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Would you care to explain to the Eagle Nation that doesn't know the resistance what the meaning of that phrase is?
So whenever we just get a free ball over something and they completely just mess it up, instead the other team just mess it up, the resistance will say she wasn't ready. And so yeah.
So do you think this girl was ready?
No. Not at all. Yeah, and she wasn't ready for the rest of the game either. She couldn't play for the rest of the game. Poor girl.
Wow.
So Bella, talk to us a little bit about the play, the game itself. What was the significance of the game, and then that moment in the play as well?
Okay, so I was looking back at the film from that game. So that was actually, so we were playing Legacy Christian Academy, and that was actually the third time we were playing them in the season already. And so that was still early in the season. But so we had just lost the first set, and since we were playing in a tournament, it's 2 out of 3. And so we had lost the first set. So we already had that initiative of wanting to win the next 2 sets. So obviously I was trying to, bring the heat. And so that play came along. And so and also Legacy, there's always that tension between, like, we're a 3A school, they're a 5A school. So there's always tension between smaller schools always wanting to beat that bigger school. And we played them last year, and that was a great game. We won in 5. And I remember in 8th grade, so that was such a good year. We had won every single game except one, and it was against Legacy. So I had some history behind it. I'm sure there were some other people on our team that were really wanting it too. So that was a good play, being able to hit a girl in the face and taking her out of the game.
I noticed, I've reviewed the film, and Bella, affectionately known as the Beastie, is very much correct. The tension between the Heritage Christian Academy Lady Eagles, the Lady Eagles of Legacy Christian being 5A, and also the host school, McKinney Christian, is a longtime rival as well. So you've got 3 very powerful volleyball programs that whenever they're on the court in the same building together, the other teams are watching each other. So, and I know the boys loved, and the Resistance show up on the Saturday games at the McKinney tournament after long, hard practices, and they're cheering, and they know the tension with the Legacy team. What I would like to hear from Isabella is, because I watched the game film, and there is a moment where one of our little freshman middles loses track of the ball, maybe there's a little celebrating going on early before we notice the shot that everybody in the gym heard and saw.
Yeah, that's happened to me before. You think the play's over, you start celebrating, but then it's like, guys, we're still playing. We need to pay attention. Thankfully, it didn't end up that we lost the point. So we got back on track. So, Kat, it's okay. It happens to the best of us.
So I did notice also in the play, so it was a couple of juniors that really set you up. It was a good play, and thought a point was scored. The ball came back over, and who was it that made the save, followed by, who was your setter that set you up?
Whitney set me.
Whitney set you up. Okay, so describe when the ball came back over, because it looked like our little freshman wasn't the only one. There was only about maybe 3 people on the court that still knew the ball was alive, and they were the ones that ended up pushing the play to be what it is, which is a nominee for Play of the Year.
Yeah, so I forgot, maybe I passed the ball, but I was like, oh gosh, I hope somebody's here to, set me up, because I can't touch it twice. So I was like, oh no. And thankfully Whitney was there. So Whitney set me. I was like, okay, good. Thank you. Thankfully she set me, and because I didn't know if she had ended up setting Kat, then Kat might not have been ready for it if she wasn't paying attention still. So I was like, oh gosh. But thankfully it all worked out in the end. It was good.
So on the kill, over the block, what happened after the ball went over the block? Because that's really the crux of why that's the Play of the Year.
It knocked out that setter. She fell to the ground. It hit her in the face, and she was gone. She was on the ground. And so it was a little awkward, because like, she was on the ground, all of her teammates were huddled around her. I was gonna say sorry, but I kind of peeked my head over. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then, turning back to the huddle, like our huddle, that's obviously like, that's pretty good. It feels pretty good. And we're all like, ooh, she's out for the game. She won't be back in. We had to take a pretty long break for her to be able to get back up on the bench, and she had a huge red mark on her face from where it hit her. So,
well, we all feel for the young lady from Legacy. It played volleyball long enough. We've seen enough girls get hit.
Right.
I feel for her. However, at the same time, this is a Heritage Christian Academy show, and it's our Play of the Year. And unfortunately, she got hit in the head with the ball because she wasn't ready.
Line of fire.
A little sorry, but not sorry. Sorry. So, Bella, talk to us. Why should the HCA Eagle Nation vote for your play as the play of the year?
Well, I know I'm going up against two really good competitors for this play of the year, but I think that, neither of their plays took a girl out of the game, or a boy out of the game. I took a girl out of the game, and that just shows it really defines our team. That's just such something that would happen because this whole team this year was so competitive, and it was the best thing ever. We were however 12 of us of great competitors on that team, so that was just such a defining moment of getting back into the game and just ending that point with that. And that's, y'all should vote for that play.
I'm with Isabella on that. I believe after watching this team was very young. We haven't had this young of a team in a long time.
Yeah.
And you've got some returning all-state players that were in charge of getting this young group ready to go. And that tournament is right before district play. Mm-hmm. And the team wasn't struggling, but they still had some identity crisis going on with the younger girls and the older girls and how this is going to work. And that play, I think that Saturday really set the tone for the – golly, my brain is gone now, Isabella. Is it 10 or 11 district titles in a row?
I think it's 11. I think it's 11.
11 district titles in a row. If we're wrong about that, Eagle Nation, please don't correct us on social media. We know it's up there. We've had so many, we just lost track.
I know.
But this play made it be two things. The girl got hit in the head. That's a phenomenal physical play. And secondly, the tone it set for the rest of the year and another district title run, like Isabella said, that was amazing. That play set them apart. It made the girls believe that they were Lady Eagles again, and they were ready for another run in which they capitalized.
Well, Bella, thanks so much for joining us on the show. We wish you well, and we hope to see you soon. And congratulations on graduating, and just so many things to be thankful for and proud of with your work here at HCA. And so really well done.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was our 3 plays. We had The Catch, we had For the Win, and She Wasn't Ready. Coach Mack, any final words that you have for us?
We're going to need everybody to go out there and vote. Again, we are so sad that there were no contributors for Play of the Year from the spring sports. We know there would have been a lot there, but this is 3 very good nominees in The Catch from football, For the Win in basketball, and of course, She Wasn't Ready from volleyball. This is going to be amazing. If you thought the Restaurant Royale was really the cream of all the voting, this one's going to be tough. The athletic department, very proud of these 3 groups, and I cannot wait to see how this turns out. And I am not going to tell anybody which one I'm voting for.
Well, yeah, there's so much to be proud of with the athletic department, and it's just exciting to see these students and just the ownership that they've taken over the year with their sports and the camaraderie and the school spirit and the hard work that they've put into it. Lots of fun, and I'm excited to see who's going to win, and it should be a good time. So make sure you get out there and vote. Tell your friends, tell your family, and vote for which play you think is the HCA Play of the Year. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you later. Coach Mack, thanks.
Go Eagles.